Cool. All right. Hey, how are you?
I am doing good.
Thank
I am
you.
I am feeling wonderful.
Thank you so much for coming on to my podcast. Um, so you and I have been knowing each other for a long time. We go way back, went to church
Yes.
together. So I have tasted
Mhm.
your food. I know it. I know what it tastes like. So I'm, really excited about talking to you today. So go ahead and get started. I want to know, how old were you when you learned how to cook? How
I
do you
was
think you
around.
were?
I can tell you exactly. I was I was 14 years old
Okay.
when I started.
Okay. And who
Yeah.
taught you how to cook?
My mom,
Okay.
I, I would be late coming home, so I always came home hungry. So she taught me to fend for myself.
So how did can you remember how she taught you how to cook? Like what did she teach you first, or how did you learn?
It was more visual and hands-on,
Okay.
and I learned the best that way. And that wooden spoon she had in her hand in case I messed up.
So she would be like, okay, cook this, and just standing by you watching you, or
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. She'll by me watching her do it before she started teaching me. I kind of had a clue,
uh-huh.
but yeah, she made sure that my clues was right, and then she inspired me, tell me something. You need to do this now. You need to do this now, and the main thing she tried to push on me at first was have patience with the with the cooking because things different timings for different foods.
Right,
And
right.
I didn't see that at first. I was like, why ain't he done? Why ain't he done? It should have been, So she had to teach me that too.
So do you remember maybe like the first thing she taught you how, or the first thing that you cooked on your own, or that she taught you how to cook?
I'm gonna say she taught me. It may sound crazy, but she kept it at my level. For
Okay.
breakfast, for breakfast, the first thing I cooked was scrambled eggs. She
Okay.
taught me how to do scrambled eggs.
Okay.
For dinner, I know because she was cooking. It was fish and grits tonight for dad,
Okay.
and I had to do the grits.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so yeah, so those are that's breakfast and well, grits is breakfast, but we had it for
Yeah.
dinner that night.
Yeah. So when you I guess when your skills got a little bit better, when you learned, like, do you remember the first time you learned how to maybe like fry chicken or bake chicken, or
I was
something a little
about
bit more complicated?
that came about a year later, a year
Okay.
later, and the one thing I remember about what she said about frying chicken, she said the chicken will float when it's done.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking at her like, yeah, right, but the chicken floated. So I took one out, you cut into it. I was like, wow, it actually is done.
So now, are we talking
So
about like deep frying chicken? Because
deep
if
fry,
you
yes.
got chicken in like maybe like a cast iron or something, like that's not
Uh,
gonna float.
yeah, you're right. Yeah, I was deep frying chicken. You're
Deep
right. You're
frying,
so right.
deep
Deep
frying.
frying,
Okay.
and it
Okay.
blew because it floated up, and I looked at
Yeah.
my mom, I was like, what's going on here? And she
Mm-hmm.
said, give it 5 more minutes. I gave it five
Mm-hmm.
more minutes, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was done.
How did she teach you how to tell when the grease is hot?
Yes, yes. That's that little water splash. You get some water, and you fling it in the thing, and it'll pop.
Right.
And it'll pop on you if you're close. Yeah, I
Yeah.
learned that too.
Yeah. Yeah. So so I want to give you a scenario. So let's say, for instance, somebody comes to you and they say, Elliot, like, okay, this person doesn't know how to cook, but they want to maybe bake some chicken or something like that, right? And they was like, Elliot, I don't really know. I don't know how to bake chicken. I don't know how much salt and pepper to put on that. I don't know what else could, put on there, what would you say?
But well, I will first confess that I don't cook with salt.
Okay.
I don't cook with salt because of blood pressure thing.
Okay.
So I don't cook with salt, but most of the seasonings that you can buy today have salt in it.
Right.
So I don't add to it. I just, if it's in the seasoning, here we go.
Okay.
And I would just tell them, depending on how many pieces of chicken they got.
So say it's like a 8-piece drumsticks.
And I would tell them to do like 2, season it the way you want, or season the way you think you want it.
Well, wait a minute, because this person doesn't know how to cook. They don't know how they want it.
Well, I would try to talk them through it.
Okay.
I would try to talk them through it.
Okay.
Season it this way. Got to do both sides and stuff like that. I would try to talk them through it. And I still would tell them, don't cook it all the same, because you don't want all of it to be either. you don't want all your pieces to be a little bland. So.
Maybe do 4 at a time.
Yeah. And do it that way,
Well, that's smart.
Because I do have people that ask me, hey, you know how to cook this? And I tell them, and I also tell people, don't rush it. You can't, if you're not sure of what you're doing, don't rush it. Take your time. You can't be on mama's level when you just starting out.
Right.
So I always tell them, take their time.
Yeah. So what's your like go-to seasoning since you don't use salt? Or I don't say go-to, but like favorite.
My favorite is Lowry seasoning. It has a little bit of salt in it.
Yeah.
But that's my go-to.
That's it?
And I do that, and let me see what I use. I use Lowry's, oh my goodness, garlic powder, onion powder.
Okay.
Depending on my mood, adobo.
Okay.
That's when I'm feeling a little Latino or something.
Right.
But
right.
And that's mainly, and pepper. That's mainly it. Everything else, I'll look at my camera. Let's try this, and then I'll try it on one little piece or something. But I don't. Yeah. But Lowry's is my go-to.
Lowry's. Did you teach so I know that you have children. Did you teach your children how to cook, or did their mom teach them how to cook, or do they know how to cook, or?
They know how to cook, thanks to me.
Okay.
But I did them the same way my mom did me at that young age. Come on in here. You got to learn this.
Right.
Because I got 2 girls and I got a son, and you hear the story. No man, I want a woman that can't cook. So that was the storyline I wrote on my girls, and for my son. You might not find a woman that can cook, so you got to cook for yourself.
Right.
So those was how I got them to pay attention. Yeah.
That's good, because growing up, I was around a lot of people who knew how to cook. Like everybody that I knew in my family, with the exception of like my dad, but like all of the women and even my uncle knew how to cook. But no one said, come in here and let me teach you how to do this. And I don't know why. I don't know what, but I think that's just like so important to, if you have children, or if you don't have children, maybe you have nieces and nephews, because everybody got to eat. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And trust me, you waste a lot of money when you don't know how to cook, because you're constantly like messing up something. And maybe you mess it up so bad to the point where, now you got to go out to eat because, or, make a sandwich, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think that's really important. I have yet to ask them why they did not bring me in the kitchen, but that's okay. I'm going to try to let it go. I'm gonna try to let it go. All right. So you gave us one tip. You said, be patient. Anything else that you would say to a complete newbie in terms of cooking, learning how to cook?
With today's technology, if you don't have family or friends to ask, Google your behind off, because you Google how to boil water, you'll probably get like 5 examples of how to
Yeah.
boil water.
Yeah.
And then you can just pick which one you feel is the best for you. So yeah, Google will tell you some things, and they'll connect a video with it and
Yeah.
everything. So you'll see all that.
Yeah.
But when I started, it was just mom.
Right. I remember you told me, and I told somebody this on another show, that I think I was asking you because you used to cook salmon croquettes a lot. I guess it's what you still call them.
Yes.
And you said you should be able to see the seasoning on it. Like you should be, I don't know if you remember that, but
Yes.
like
Yeah.
you should be able to really see it. Like if you can't see it, then you probably don't have enough on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that always kind of stuck with me. Like you should be able to see it on there really good. Like it should be, I guess, well coated. Like all of it should have some sort of seasoning on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that true? Is that true?
I'm a believer of that. If me personally, I gotta see my seasoning. That's it right there.
Okay, so what's a dish that's in rotation at your house? What's your, I don't want to say favorite thing to cook, but what is something that you kind of cook on rotation?
I'm gonna have to go with my 4-cheese shrimp pasta.
Okay, now you're just being fancy.
but honestly, it really don't take long to cook. Because I go out and just get the sauce, the cheese in the jar. I don't try to melt. No, that's too time consuming for me now, since I work these long and crazy hours.
So when you say 4 cheese, what cheese?
The 4 cheese. You look at a white cheddar.
Okay.
Asiago, Parmesan, and Romano. Those are the 4.
Okay.
And then you season it with a little bit of garlic and other stuff. Yeah. But if you buy it in a jar.
So you can buy all of those cheeses in a jar?
Mm-hmm. It'll say 4 cheese, whoever makes it.
Oh.
It'll say 4 cheese,
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So you said 4 cheese shrimp pasta, right?
Yeah, because you boil the noodles and the shrimp, not together, but at the same time.
Right.
And then you just put it in the pot, pour the little cheese on it, the cheese sauce on it, let it warm up, and there you go.
Did you say boil your shrimp?
Yeah, you boil the shrimp.
I don't think I've ever boiled shrimp either.
Wow.
Well, except maybe I think I made like a seafood boil once. I guess I really have boiled shrimp before.
Yeah, so you can put them in the pan and let them cook that way, but I just throw it all in the water, and I'll season the water, whatever, and then I just mix it all, the pasta and shrimp and the sauce all in one pot.
So are you seasoning your water with the what's that stuff called? Old Bay or your Lowry's or?
I usually do my Lowry's, because Old Bay can be strong at some time.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be overbearing.
Right. Cool. Well, I learned something new. I honestly did not know that. I did not know anything about cheese in the jar.
Oh yeah, you go there, and that's how I discovered. I was just going up and down the aisle. I'm like, 4 cheese. Let me see what this about. Right. I'm like, it got everything I use. I said, this is knocking off 30 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I did not know that. I'm gonna look for that. Okay. And I might make 4 cheese shrimp pasta. I'll tell you how it goes.
And you can also put chicken chunks in it. You cut the chicken, do the same thing. Same way.
Right.
Yeah.
That's very clever. I don't know why I didn't know that. I don't know why they look like. Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not a problem. Anytime.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye-bye.